The following is a special presentation of the First Horizon Green Sports Zone. This is the Gary's Paint and Body Shop Stephen Gregg Show. Welcome back to First Horizon's Green Sports Zone, and welcome back to this week's edition of the Gary's Paint and Body Shop Stephen Gregg Show, where we cover everything on the hardwood with the South Greene Lady Rebels basketball team. We'll recap the past two wins against West Greene and University High, and we'll look forward into the Big H Barbecue Christmas Bash this week up at Cherokee High School. But first, we need a word from our sponsors first, so we'll be right back after this quick break here on First Horizon's Green Sports Zone. The Gary's Paint and Body Shop Stephen Gregg Show is brought to you by Gateway Ford Nissan, Tommy's Plumbing, Gary's Paint and Body Shop, and by First Horizon Bank.
Twist on your typical banking options. What if instead of choosing between a big bank or a small bank, you had one bank that's the best of both? That's First Horizon. Big bank muscle with small bank hustle. Big bank convenience and small bank connection. When the best of big meets the best of small, you get it all to help you on the road to your horizon. First Horizon Bank.
Welcome back to First Horizon's Green Sports Zone, and welcome back to this week's edition of the Gary's Paint and Body Shop Stephen Gregg Show, where we cover everything on the hardwood with the South Greene Lady Rebels basketball team. As always, joined here with Lady Rebels head coach Stephen Gregg. Coach, how are we doing today?
Doing well.
You're getting closer to Christmas now. Are you feeling more jolly?
I'm eager for a little break. Get away from school a little bit. And, when you coach consecutively, it seems like you don't really have a break. So looking forward to a little downtime, a little family time, and don't have a whole lot of time to rest because we're going to be going out of town, out of state. So it is a good time of the year to be enjoying some things and not really always focused in on basketball 24/7.
Yeah, that's what I was going to mention too. You get a little break from school, but not really a break from basketball. Competing in two Christmas tournaments this year. You have the Big H Barbecue Bash, which actually starts here in a few hours, and then you have one in Florida after Christmas. So you do get a little bit of a break there, but still bunched in right there, two Christmas tournaments. We won't get into those just yet. Let's talk about the past two wins. Some would say you're on a little bit of a streak right now with some consecutive wins. One over West Greene to end the week last week on Friday, and then started the week with a win against University High on Monday. So we'll start off with West Greene. You get that big conference win. You're now the only undefeated team now going into January. How does it feel to hold that first place mark?
Yeah, it's always good to be in the lead and control things. But, we're only talking 2 games in.
Yeah.
You get one upset here or there, then the whole league's completely jam-packed again at the top. So we're very glad to get that win at West Greene, and now we can work on getting better toward that second half push. But most importantly, it was a road win, and you got to always cherish road wins in the conference.
And then talk about the win, too. You go in there and play a team that had beaten Chucky Doak earlier in the week by double digits, and you play a tough overtime game. And a lot of people will talk about how you want to avoid a hangover after a big win. Both teams were looking to avoid that, and you were the one to avoid that hangover game. What did it take to be able to get a tough road win against West Greene?
Just coming out fired up with energy. I felt like we came out and was really scrappy on defense and kind of forced the tempo and wanted to make it a track meet early.
And then moving into this week's game with University High, you get a little bit of a break over the weekend. You come into a non-conference game. You take control of that early. Everybody gets in. I don't know if everybody scored, but you were able to get everybody on the floor. How good of a game was it Monday night to have a tune-up before you go into this week's tournament style?
Yeah, games like that are always good when you're being able to put multiple lineups in and play multiple kids, and everybody feels like they're involved and invested in the program. So it's also good to see the morale on the team, giddiness. Your regulars that play a lot are sitting on the bench, cheering the other ones to come in and make the extra passes, and they're cheering for teammates because they want to see success as well. So those games are always good. Sometimes you don't always learn a lot, but it's good to have those games, and There were a couple of things that we're going to focus in on from that, even though we won. We got to start shooting at a higher rate. That's my biggest thing right now. Is I know the girls are playing hard. If they're getting 60 shots, West Greene, and then 75 against So hopefully at the end of the year, and they've honed in on their skill set, and we'll be shooting at a better rate. But I can't complain that we're getting 70 shots a game the last 2 games. So that tells me it's their work ethic and their eagerness to go get after somebody and play a faster game.
What's leading to that many shots too? Just pushing the pace more?
That, and we're also corralling boards. We had 28 offensive rebounds against
That'll do it.
University High. But typically that's not how we were playing the first of the year. We were letting other teams dictate what style of play we wanted. And we've been dabbling with lineups, and certain parts of the game we need certain personnel, and so I think they're starting to buy into they need to cherish the time they have while they're in there, because it could change in a minute and then we go with a different look. So I think that they are really trying to impress the coaching staff and try to help one another out on the floor. And hadn't always seen it yet in the games, but we've been working really hard on some drills on getting our eyes up and our court vision, and been able to use both sides of the floor. And that's done, it's looked a lot better in practice, but it hadn't really poked its head in the games yet. So hopefully that'll start here in about 2 hours when we tip off.
And then looking at the first third of the season also, it feels crazy that we're already a third of the way through the season, but sitting at 5-5 at the moment now. How happy are you with your performance a third of the way through the season so far?
I'm pleased with our progression.
Okay.
I don't always get caught up in wins and losses. You can look at it 2 ways. You could be a team that schedules a bunch of patsies and they beat everybody by 30, but are they getting better from it? Or are you playing a battle-tested schedule, and are you coming out, better than you were the first time you played them? So then that's kind of what we're looking at now. We lost to Union County opening night, Hall of Fame. We went there to their place and lost by 9. We're getting ready to play them here in a little less than 2 hours. We want to see the progression. The girls need to see, are we getting better? And then you can learn from that when you start comparing game 1 versus game 2, or if you're fortunate enough to play somebody 3 or 4 times on a season. So I'm pleased with the progression. I feel like we're moving in the right direction. I kind of feel like I'm saying this every week, but you can't look back, because there's too many things chasing you.
Looking to finish the first half strong. You've got the Big H Barbecue Christmas Bash later on today and throughout the rest of the week in Rogersville at Cherokee High School. We'll talk about that in just a minute. As always, we need to get a word in from our loyal sponsors first. So thank you to them for sponsoring us here at First Horizon's Green Sports Zone. We'll see you right after the break.
Here's a twist on your typical banking options. What if, instead of choosing between a big bank or a small bank, you had one bank that's the best of both? That's First Horizon. Big bank muscle with small bank hustle. Big bank convenience and small bank connection. When the best of big meets the best of small, you get it all. To help you on the road to your horizon. First Horizon Bank.
Tommy's Plumbing has been in business for 30 years, and we're still growing because we treat our customers like family. We are proud to do any job from kitchen faucet installation to a complete home repipe. Tommy's Plumbing offers warranties on most products installed by our technicians. When the job is done, our friendly professionals make sure to clean up. We invite you to visit our new showroom in Jonesboro to see our quality products for yourself. Tommy's is the only one to call when you need a fast, reliable, professional plumber in the Tri-Cities.
At many dealerships, you get what you'd expect: games, gimmicks, and shady sales tactics. At Gateway Nissan in Greenville, expect the unexpected: low prices, convenient service, and a great buying experience.
Get our Gateway exclusive lifetime powertrain warranty.
No worries for life.
You deserve the unexpected. It's the #1 reason you gotta get to Gateway.
Shop online at gatewaynissangreenville.com.
Or take the super short drive down Highway 11E to Gateway Nissan in Greenville.
Welcome back to First Horizons Green Sports Zone, and welcome back to this week's edition of the Gary's Paint and Body Shop Stephen Gregg Show, where we cover everything on the court with the South Greene Lady Rebels basketball team. As always, joined here with Lady Rebels head coach Stephen Gregg. So, making the trip over to Cherokee today to start off the Big H Barbecue Christmas Bash again. You start today with Union County at 4 o'clock. Of course, this game will be played by the time this airs. So, tell me a little bit about what you expect today.
Well, when we went there, it's my first time ever going to Union County, and we took long scenic route, and by the time we got there, we were exhausted, and we just didn't play typically ourselves. We had a bad shooting night. We couldn't corral their point guard. They hit some late threes. I mean, we were just behind all night long, and we made one really good push and took a lead like 35-34, and then went on a cold streak and lost the game there, in which it's a game I feel like maybe we win more times than not when we match up with them. So I'm eager to get back to that game today here and see if some of the things that we've been working on the defensive side of the ball and the offensive side will prove better than it did back the 1st of November. They beat us by 9 on their floor, but most people say you're 10 points better at home. So I expect us to get after it and do a better job of controlling their point guard, disrupting her from getting in the offense, because that team really depends on number 4 to really, she's like their glue, their stability on the floor. And, maybe we can see if our defense has improved since then as well.
And this whole tournament's kind of going to be a second go-around with the team so far. I don't know really the way to put it and phrase it, but you start off with Union County, who you played, and then win or lose, you'll play West Greene or University High, who you just got done playing. So, and then you look at the top half of the bracket, and you've got Cherokee, who you've also played so far this year also. How much does that benefit you, knowing that you've played half of the teams in this tournament so far, and you could potentially match up with a team that you've played in every game in this tournament?
It's always a plus when you've laid eyes on somebody, and even more so when you've been to battle with them.
Yeah.
So, scouting, watching film on TV and the computer is always different than being in the house. So we've got an upfront view of how fast a kid is or what their true tendencies are first. And you do see a lot of how kids play without the ball and off the ball when you're in the gym. You take away those little things. And since we know these opponents, which will be our first 2 games, win or lose, I think that's a big advantage.
You've been to the Big H now, is this 2 years in a row now?
Mm-hmm.
So, second year back, what did you learn from last year? I know with tournaments are always different, just the way that they're scheduled, the way that they're laid out. What did you learn from last year's go-around in the Big H that you'll take into this year? Last
year was just a misfortunate situation. We went in there, sick and kind of depleted. And, knock on wood, I feel like we're pretty healthy now. And hopefully we can stay healthy over the Christmas break and be able to give our best effort on 100%.
But looking at it now, I mean, no need to even preview West Greene or University High, because if you want to preview that, just go back to last week's episode, because that's exactly what we did, considering you just got done playing them. But I know you've got a bus ride to take over to Cherokee. Well, maybe not a bus ride, maybe just carpool. But either way, you're tipping off in less than 2 hours now. Won't keep you any longer, Coach. Once
Thank
again,
you.
I appreciate your time. Thank you all for watching this week's edition of the Gary's Paint and Body Shop Stephen Gregg Show. We look forward to seeing you next time here on First Horizons Green Sports Zone.